Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. The Satanic Illuminati news is an example of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody. We're going to look at the ISIS broadcasting, the Columbia Broadcasting Network, because over at the the Columbia Broadcasting Network, another, of course, network news feed, you can once again expect about roughly half of the news stories to blatantly promote, divide and conquer the population in one way or another. So let's take a look, see if that plays out. Hey, looks like somebody finally won the Powerball. Congratulations to that person. Your life has now been completely ruined. Do you ever wonder why in the home of the free, where liberty is expounded, that everyone seems to have the same goal? I mean, if freedom is our way of life, then you would think that freedom would lead many people to make many different kinds of choices. That's what freedom is all about, the freedom to choose something different. But it seems everyone chooses, of their own free will, to chase after the same things, the same rewards. Ever wonder why? Ever think maybe that's the way somebody wants it? That somebody wants mammon to rule the world? Want you to think of nothing but your greed and lust and desires constantly, and to think that actually having them fulfilled in some magical way, like winning the lottery, is going to make you happy? I mean, all evidence to the contrary. Obviously, the world has been shaped that way. If you want to believe that it's just a natural progression of so-called progress, and that's your initiative, that's on you. But I feel that you still have some homework to do. Propaganda or racial division in mainstream media and alternative news sources too, by simply pointing it out, has reached a fever pitch. We can expect every little thing, every small victimization, every straw man, every scapegoat to pop up in the name of tolerance and racial equity. I'd like to ask you a question. Do you know any people of a different race? Are you friends with them? Do you talk to them? When you do you sense that they hate you or you hate them? Or is it just a friendly conversation like with anybody else? I once said to a friend of mine, racism only works at a distance. That's absolutely true. Guess what? This race war propaganda only works on your TV. Turn it off, and it'll disappear. What's behind Trump's us against them strategy? Could this be their small way of externalizing the hierarchy? Of telling everybody, hey, we're pulling a scam on you. The scam is called divide and conquer. What's up with divide and conquer, by the way? These people are laughing at you and how easily you are led by the nose of your emotions. I'm not going to talk about Planet X today. I'll just talk about it as the occult knowledge. These two incidents where tankers crashed into warships, totally and completely inexplicable. Either it was done on purpose, or they are not letting us know why it was done because they don't know themselves. I suspect the latter is the case. I don't really see a psyop benefit to these collisions other than just general fear-mongering. So I imagine they have no clue what's going on here either. I'm talking about the lower-level military commanders, because the upper-level military elite know exactly what's happening. The ancient secret's on its way, and it's mucking up all of their electronics. If you sense a desperation in the Illuminati Satanic elite right now, oh, believe me, they're desperate. They know it's almost here, and they're not nearly ready. All these poor, deluded, satanic Illuminati who be in their dumbs, in the mountains, underground, waiting for this event, who actually think they're going to be safe there, are completely deluded. That's why I call these people morons. They think that the Bible and Revelations are like a script that they're going to play out. So when the Bible says that the elite will be hiding in their mountains, well, they think, well, that's the thing, that's what we'll do. Guess what? Mountains are just part of the Earth's crust. Do you realize that the Earth's crust is thinner than an apple skin in relation to an apple? You think you're going to be safe in the apple skin if the apple gets stepped on? Sorry, that's a little ignorant. I expect more from you so-called illuminated types. Satanic, Illuminati, blood sacrifice on a great scale. These kind of news reports, which bring them up in the name of remembrance, are in fact lesser magic, intended to rub our nose in what is being done to us so that our subconscious knows, but our conscious mind does not. This gives their spell, their magic, their craft more power over us. Think of a person as a marionette who can't see the strings. One day he looks up and says, oh, look, there's strings, and does absolutely nothing to find out who's holding the strings or to cut the strings. Would you say that the puppeteer now has complete power over that person, including that person's own permission to control? Absolutely you would. That's what this is about. Giving you a glimpse of the strings, but having you go back to being a puppet. It increases the power of their craft. As I pointed out yesterday, our society is inverted. That's not an accident. It's done on purpose. Doctors destroy health. Governments destroy freedom. Religion destroys spirituality. Lawyers destroy justice. Education destroys knowledge. Anyone familiar with the speeches of David Icke will recognize that as a direct quote of him, or directly quoting someone else who I can't Every news story you see about new medical technology is simply designed to pull you further into their world of medicine and surgery. Used to be that all doctors did was medicine and surgery, but they're branching into a new area, and that area is cybernetics. They want you drugged. They want you docile. They want you thinking that the only solution to any health problem you might have is medicine or surgery. Basically, the MD paradigm. Don't believe me? Take a look at what's happening to alternative healers right now. They are being assassinated quickly. Don't believe me? Look it up. Why? Oh, isn't that ironic that all of these natural healers are dying? Hey, they're being killed for a reason. Don't believe me? Do some homework. So-called Greek life in university is, of course, training ground for future secret society members. Go back and take a look at Animal House, one of the greatest Satanic Illuminati mind control pre-programmed movies. Ask yourself, how did this unfunny movie get to be such a cultural juggernaut? So that, what do we get from Animal House? We got food fights, we got toga parties, we got that Shimmy and Shake song was a huge hit for years and years, and after that came the Blues Brothers and all kinds of other non-funny things, which were also extremely influential in our culture. Why? Well, if you take a close look at Animal House, you'll see that Satan and human sacrifice and debaucherous sexual activity are the main themes. And if you take a close look at the Delta, I forget, whoever the jocks are, the real assholes, their fraternity house initiation, starring Kevin Bacon and a few other no-name actors, that's pretty much what it's like. That ain't fooling around. They are faux mystic, faux ritualistic religion ceremonies. You know, like pantomime, play acting, to get them ready for what's going to happen when they enter the world of real secret societies. Most of them will never get high in the societies, but a very few of them will. They will take their places among the elite controllers of our society. So, is it a wonder that in these so-called Greek institutions we find the worst kind of behavior? No, it's no wonder. It is August 24th, and it's time to get ready for Halloween. Huh? What? Halloween? What? It's August. Yeah, that's okay. Halloween is the most important holiday on the Satanic Illuminati calendar. It is the most active night for orgies and blood sacrifices. It's not a conspiracy theory. This is a fact. Just do your homework and you will see. Keep your dogs, keep your children close this Halloween. Don't let them out of your sight. Every once in a while, they'll throw these missing people stories out there just to make sure you think that the news media has their eye on the problem of missing people in the United States. Nothing could be further from the truth. Every year, thousands of children go missing, many from protective services. And those children are never found, never reported on, never remembered, except by the families who lost them. Why do thousands of children go missing every year? Why does the federal government fail to keep statistics of how many children go missing every year when they keep statistics of how many cars go missing every year? Why not children? I don't know. Is it because they know that children are the main source of food and energy for these satanic Illuminati elite, that they perform blood sacrifice, cannibalism, demon summoning spells in their sex magic rituals involving young children? Do you need to listen to Arizona Wilder again? Do you really think Kathy O'Brien's making all that up? Really? What about the other side of darkness? She's making it all up too, huh? They're all just liars who, I don't know, you tell me why they're lying, because they ain't making any money. I find it strange that anyone would be against the idea of having a legal ID to vote. Why would you be against that? I find it strange that anyone would be against the idea of building a border wall between Mexico and the United States. Why would you be against that? I mean, should it be okay for people to vote illegally if they can get away with it? Should it be okay for people to sneak into our country or out of our country illegally if they can get away with it? So you're saying that breaking the law is okay as long as you can get away with it. Okay, I get that. I kind of agree with that. Admit it. Wow. How many stories are in the news today about people coming into millions of dollars? Let's see, there's the Powerball jackpot. They get $1 million or 700 some odd $1 million. Here's another story again about how a jury awards someone else a bunch of millions of dollars. So they must be happy now. They absolutely have nothing to complain about. Now their dreams have come true. They have all the mammon they want. I haven't read this story, but I guarantee you he's writing this still hate mail. It's the supposed white supremacist and KKK. How dare you videotape such an act of violence? I guess it could be the SJWs too. It doesn't matter. The fact that a news story is, they felt the need to put it in front of us, telling us that the man who took the pictures is now a victim. They won't be happy until everyone in this nation has their own victimhood status to claim. Why? Well, number one, if you're a victim, then you're due some sort of compensation from the government. So it increases dependency upon the government. Number two, if you're a victim, then you are, by definition, powerless to at least something in your life. Victim equals powerlessness, doesn't it? Because if you had power, you wouldn't have allowed yourself to be a victim. If you are powerless, you're small, manageable. Follow the rules, follow the law, do what we tell you to. Don't forget, you're just a victim, you're powerless. We'll take care of you. That's why they want everyone to be a victim. And that's why even the photographer who just happened to be standing there and happened to catch it is now, according to the Ishtar News Network, a victim. Oh my God, the white supremacists are rising. Okay, I'm talking to people of color now. Do you know any white people? Do you talk to them in your neighborhood and whatnot? Do you sense that they hate you because of your race? Or is it just a nice, normal conversation? Yeah, I know. Because racism only works at a distance, and racist propaganda only works on the screen. Turn off the screen, and it vanishes like magic. It's not really there. Don't believe me? Try it. I've said twice now, we've been saddled with a completely unacceptable character as our president. I mean, he's unacceptable in every way. He's rude, discourteous, crass, vulgar, seemingly unintelligent, and mean. Not only that, he's thin-skinned and insecure. I heard him read his speech. Now listen to this. This is funny. He was giving a speech at some ceremony for Mike's parents or something. And he went into the mode of reading his speech and then pausing to comment upon it as if he had forgotten these were supposed to be spontaneous words out of his mouth. That's what speechwriters do. They write you a speech, they put the speech on teleprompters, and you deliver it pretending like you just kind of thought of it. These are your ideas. He starts commentating on it. Like, wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be a great thing? Boy, I wish that could happen. Yeah, no kidding, you wish it could happen because it's in your speech that you're pausing to comment as if someone else is delivering it. Folks, I'm sure you realize that I'm neither a supporter of Trump or Hillary. And I really haven't had the chance to talk about Hillary yet, and boy, when I do, you're going to hear it. But I'm sorry. Those are the actions of a moron. We have a moron for president. I'm sorry if that's news to you. It's not news to most people. Most people find it blatantly obvious. And they're clamoring for ways to get rid of him. Hey, problem, reaction, solution, anybody? I mean, I believe that if Trump were assassinated tomorrow, there would be many who would dance and cheer in the streets. That's where we are as a nation. And if you think we got that way on our own, just because as human beings living side by side in our society, you have some homework to do. Our society has been engineered for this. So now all they really need to do is throw a match at a powder keg. Who warned us about that back in the early 1960s? Can't remember his name. It was like a letter of the alphabet. He's dead now. There have been a lot of hacking stories. Both stories of actual supposed hackings or just fear-mongering of future hacking. I once heard a lady speaking about Planet X. She said there are 3 things to look out for. When you see these 3 things, boy, you better head for the hills. Number 1, you'll see a fine red dust coating on everything, sort of like you see in pollen in the summertime. You walk outside, your car looks a little yellowish green. That's normal. The day you walk outside and see that your car looks a little orangish red, that's not normal. The second thing to look out for is that the banking system will close. Probably, they will say, due to some sort of hack or attack. If not space weather, solar flare. If not a false flag EMP attack from the North Koreans. Anyway, when they claim that the banks are going to be closed from this Friday afternoon until next Monday morning because of some hack, the lady I listened to said that that means martial law in 72 hours. The third thing was that when the alien spaceships appear in the sky, remember that they're fake. I know Trump's going to be in his bunker, in his little TV studio that looks like the Oval Office, and he'll be telling us, well, I'm in contact with the aliens, they're peaceful, they're going to give us lots of secrets and provide us with a better life, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. It's fake. The fake alien invasion will arrive. Things will go badly. Nuclear bombs will start to fly. All of this man-made false flag events. Then the real event will happen. Planet X will arrive and wipe everything on the surface of the Earth out. It's my opinion that it will also disrupt the crust enough to uncover these deep underground military bases and kill all the Satanic Illuminati as well. They need you to believe that story about the hack. They need you to sit calmly and wait from Friday afternoon to Monday morning. They can't have you out on the streets protesting, "Where's my money? Where's my money? Where's my money?" No. They have to convince you that hacking is a real thing, it's no big deal, that we'll have it fixed by Monday morning, and guess what? By Monday morning, you will be a prisoner. Just saying. It is beyond me how anyone can say the term hate crime without immediately conjuring up George Orwell's term, thought crime. What's the difference? There is no difference. So you're just saying that we're going to willingly create an Orwellian society and that it's a good thing. Sorry, no. There's no such thing as a hate crime. There is only crime. When you pull the trigger and blow my head, I don't care if you love me or hate me. And guess what? The bullet doesn't either. So let's stop all this nonsense with new speak and wrong think and thought crimes and hate speech. It's all just Orwellian control. It is the Satanic Illuminati elite controlling your thoughts. Mind control. If you control people's minds, you de facto have control of their bodies, yes? Live in fear. Everyone could be a potential terrorist. Even your most beloved next door neighbor might be online right now being radicalized. Live in fear. I really hope they're paying this guy well because he must feel like a fucking idiot. God, another infertility story. Okay, I've talked about this 3 days in a row because it's been in the news 3 days in a row. Human fertility is on the decline, biologically. Human reproduction is on the decline by choice. Any way you look at it, less and less and less reproduction will happen in this world until they can figure out a way to bring it to a halt. I mean, come on, God said, be fruitful and multiply, right? They stand for everything that is the opposite of what God said. So why wouldn't they want the opposite of being fruitful and multiplying? That's all they want to do is invert this world. Stand it up on its head and make you think everything's okay. That's what they're doing. Sperm counts, way down. Fertility in women, way down. Why? We all know why. Chemicals, GMOs. I'm not even talking about the chemtrailing and the breathable nano robots or whatever. That's way out there. I mean, that's part of the conspiracy theory news networks. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the food you buy at the grocery store, the immunizations you shoot into your children, the prescription drugs that you take every day. Those are the things, the plastics that you handle on a regular basis. Those are the things making you infertile. All you got to do is put them down, and it'll stop. Put them down, and it'll stop. But no, we won't do that. We'll simply come up with crazy technological solutions for our infertility problems. hey, maybe one day my robot will be able to get pregnant, or I'll be able to get my robot pregnant. That'd be awesome. Let's take just a minute and talk about Russia. Remember back in, I guess it was 2012, when during one of the televised debates, Mitt Romney was asked who was the biggest threat, geopolitical threat the United States faced at the time. And he said Russia. And it became like a joke. Obama joked right then and there that the 1980s called him one of their foreign policy back. And that became like a meme. I think that's what you call it. When everyone starts repeating something over and over and over again. It was a joke that Mitt Romney thought that Russia was dangerous to us. It was a joke that he didn't realize that the greatest threat were ISIS terrorists and Islamic. Of course, Barack Obama famously wouldn't call it Islamic terrorism, but Mitt Romney did. It was a joke that he thought that this old, has-been, broken-down country could do anything to us. That was just 4 short years ago, people. And now, the same people, I mean the exact same human beings, who are making fun of Mitt Romney, saying Russia is a threat, are calling Russia our greatest threat. Wow, Russia really became a powerhouse in the last 4 years, didn't they? No. They just wanted. You see, they think you're so stupid that they can tell you on Monday that your dress is black and on Tuesday that dress is white, and you'll believe them. They think you're so stupid they'll tell you one week that doing this is right and the next week that doing this is wrong, and you'll believe them. They think you're so stupid they can tell you 1 year that Russia ain't a threat to us, and 4 years later they're the greatest threat to us, and you'll believe them. And guess what? They're right. Of course, it all comes down to divide and conquer. They want you holding on to your political beliefs, fighting for them, standing up for them, getting in fights for them, getting divorces because of them. They can make your political beliefs the most important thing in your life. They have complete control of you. I learned in my sociology class probably the most valuable lesson I've ever learned in any course. It was Indian River Community College in Fort Pierce, Florida, in 1986. A local weatherman was my teacher, and he said this: value acquisition is a process of group identification. And what he meant by that is that we don't get our values by examining them, deciding for ourselves what's right and wrong and how we feel about things. First, we decide what group we belong to. Then we wholesale adopt their values. Ever ask yourself why one person can be against abortion but for the death penalty? Oh, they'll tell you all things about, choices and responsibility and accountability and innocence, but it's still a human life, and it's still a death. The reason they don't realize the cognitive dissonance is because they've never actually examined those two so-called values they uphold. They just adopted them because that's what conservatives think, or that's what liberals think, or that's what atheists think, or that's what Christians think, or that's what this group or that group or any group think. I belong to them. Whatever they say, I'm with them. The whole world's operating on that principle right now. Wake up.